Have you ever thought this to yourself? I shouldn't have to remind my teens so often just so they get basic things done. If so, this video is for you. Because most parents don't need more rules. They need a system. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 7-step system I use to help parents raise teens who take responsibility and stay motivated. And you can start using the system right away. I work with teens and parents around the world. Here's what I've learned. Motivation doesn't come from pressure. It comes from ownership. Let me show you how to build that in your teen. Most parenting advice focuses on your teen's behavior. Homework, chores, screen time. But behavior is just the surface. Under the surface, teens want to feel loved. They want to feel significant. They want to feel capable. They want to feel like they have control over their life. If they don't, they won't be motivated. Instead, you'll get resistance and sarcasm. You'll hear them say, "I don't care." So if it feels like you're in a constant battle with your teen, you're not dealing with a discipline problem. You're dealing with a connection and ownership problem. That is what the 7-step system is designed to fix. Here is step 1. Stop managing and start coaching. Many parents become their teen's manager. They track deadlines, they check school portals, they remind, they follow up, they worry. And without realizing it, parents send this message to their teen. You don't really control your life. I do. Here's the shift to make. Move from manager to coach. A manager gives instructions while a coach builds thinking. A manager says, "You need to finish this tonight." A coach says, "What's your plan for getting this done?" A manager says, "You need to stop being so forgetful." A coach says, "Is there a system that would help you remember next time?" A manager says, "You need to try harder." A coach says, "What do you think isn't working right now?" Coaching builds capability. Capability builds confidence, and confidence builds motivation. I'm Daniel Wong. I'm a teen coach, and I specialize in helping teens to thrive. Now let's talk about step 2. Find the real problem. Let's talk about the phrase you've probably heard your teen use before. "I don't care." This phrase is worrying to most parents, but most of the time, it means something else. It often means, "I feel overwhelmed." Or it might mean, "I'm worried I won't succeed." Many teens would rather look like they don't care. They would rather look lazy or unmotivated instead of trying their best and failing. So try asking your teen this question. What's the hardest part about this for you? That one question shifts the conversation from accusation to curiosity. Parents are often shocked by what they hear. "I don't understand what the teacher wants. I don't know where to start. I'm scared I'll mess up. I feel like everyone else is smarter than me." At this point, you realize you're no longer dealing with a lack of motivation. You're dealing with a lack of confidence. Now that you know what the real problem is, you can start addressing it far more effectively. And you're no longer the naggy parent. You're the partner who's working with your teen to solve the problem. Step 3. Create emotional safety. If your teen feels like they might get criticized or nagged at almost any moment when they're at home, they won't feel emotionally safe. And if they don't feel emotionally safe, they won't share things openly and honestly with you. So emotional safety becomes the foundation of everything else. This doesn't mean you don't set boundaries for your teen. It means that your teen can tell you the truth without getting yelled at or criticized harshly. Here's the message you want to send your teenager. I might not always agree with you, but I want to understand your point of view. Let me give you an example. Your teen says, "I hate school. It's pointless." Most parents respond by saying something like, "That's not true. Education is important." Or, "You don't understand how the world works." Here's what I recommend you say instead. "Tell me what you hate about school." If you say this, your teen is much more likely to share their perspective. This will lead to a more fruitful conversation and discussion. Step 4. Say in a way your teen can hear it. Most parents think the problem is what they're saying. But with teens, the real problem is how it's received. Because teens don't hear the words first. They hear the tone and intent. If your teen feels like they're being talked down to, the message won't get past the emotional filter. So this step is about getting past the filter. Here's a quick tip. Lower the threat level. If you say things like the following, your teen will probably feel threatened. "We need to talk." "You're in trouble." "This is unacceptable." Even when you're trying to be firm and caring, those phrases can still sound threatening to your teen's brain. Here are examples of things you could say instead. "I want to understand what happened." "Let's figure this out together." "Tell me more about how you made that decision." When you lower the threat level, you'll be able to have conversations with your teen instead of confrontations. Here's one more quick tip. Ask before you advise. Before giving your teen advice, try asking this question first. Do you want my thoughts, or do you want to figure this out yourself? Respect your teen's answer. If they're open to you giving them advice, they'll probably listen to it. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please click the like button. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future videos about helping teens to thrive. Step 5. Fix the disconnect before fixing the problem. Most parents focus on solving the problem. The missing homework, the messy room, the bad attitude. But very often, that isn't the real problem. The real problem is the distance that's grown between you and your teen. So this step, step 5, isn't about winning the argument. It's about restoring the relationship. If you say these kinds of things to your teen, the disconnect will grow. You always make this mistake. You never listen. With that kind of attitude, you won't go far in life. Here's what you can say to your teen instead to reconnect with them. I feel like we're stuck in the same loop. I don't want us to keep fighting like this. Let's think through it together. Remind your teenager that you're on the same team. This way, the conflict stops being a situation where it's you versus your teen. Instead, it becomes a situation where it's you and your teen versus the problem. Step 6. Transfer ownership to your teen. This step is uncomfortable for many parents because it means letting your teen struggle. This is the message you want to send your teen. This is your responsibility. I'm here if you need help along the way, but I'm not going to bail you out at the last minute. At first, your teen may test you to see if you really meant what you said. As you transfer ownership to your teen, you'll need to step back so your teens can step up. Along the way, they'll probably experience failure, and they'll probably become frustrated. But that's okay, because struggle builds strength. Struggle doesn't mean you're abandoning them. It means you're standing nearby instead of stepping in. Here's a simple rule to remember. You're on the wrong track if you care more about your teen's responsibilities than they do. Of course, I'm not saying you should neglect your teen. Give them support and guidance when they need it. But let them carry their own load. Because every problem your teen solves without you stepping in builds self-belief and long-term motivation. Step 7. Build a strong family culture. Rules shape your teen's behavior when you're watching. Family culture shapes your teen's behavior when you're not. So ask yourself this question. What is our current family culture producing? A culture that focuses on performance produces stress. A culture that focuses on obedience produces fear. A culture that focuses on effort, values, and character produces growth. Growth doesn't happen as a result of one long conversation. It happens as a result of what your teen experiences every day at home, like what gets noticed and celebrated and modeled. So catch your teen doing things right. It doesn't have to be something big. It could be something like showing up on time, helping a sibling, or taking responsibility for a mistake. Then acknowledge the effort and progress. Instead of saying, "Good job," say, "I noticed that you got ready early so you would be on time. I can see you're becoming more disciplined." By saying something like this, you're shaping your teen's identity. Of course, I'm not asking you to lie, and I'm not asking you to manipulate your teen. I'm just asking you to acknowledge even the small improvements you see your teen making. Another piece of the puzzle is this. Model what you want to see in your teen. When the family culture consistently emphasizes effort, respect, kindness, courage, and growth, your teen will carry those values with them into the world, even when you're not there to remind them. In this video, I've walked you through the 7 steps that help teens become motivated and responsible. This gives you the framework. It shows you how the pieces fit together. But real change doesn't come from understanding the system. It comes from applying it step by step in your own home. That's why I created a full online course for parents of teens. The course is called Transform Your Teen Today: 7 Steps to Turn Your Child into a Motivated and Responsible Teen. In the course, I'll guide you through each step in detail. I'll show you exactly what to say, what to do, and what to focus on at every stage. So you're not guessing. Instead, you're following a clear path. The course consists of short, practical video lessons. Most of the lessons are just 5 to 10 minutes long. You'll also get a workbook that will help you apply all the tips and strategies so you'll start to see positive results immediately. Plus, as you go through the course, you'll receive direct support from me. Just leave a comment in the course portal and I'll respond personally. The course even comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't think the course is right for you, just send an email to support@daniel-wong.com and you'll get a full refund. Remember, your teen won't be a teen forever. The habits and mindset they build now will follow them into adulthood. The way they handle responsibilities and challenges today will shape their future. The Transform Your Teen Today course is what you need to ensure that you get your teen on the right path. You don't need to be perfect to use this. You just need to be willing to try. You'll find the link to the course in the description. Sign up today. You won't regret it.